Okay. All right, we're live. We're live. We are on YouTube. We're on TikTok. So y'all, checking in. We are at 653. We are at 653 subscribers. I did the calculation yesterday to see how many more subscribers I needed to meet my goal. But I forgot the number. It was like 340 something. Well, I think it's like 347. So I need 347 more subscribers. So thank you, Shari, for stopping in. I need 347 more subscribers to meet my goal. So when I say it that way, it actually don't sound too bad. Like we're knocking that number, that goal down one by one. But that's where we're at today. And I actually did a Utada today, y'all. And so I'll give y'all like my full outfit. You'll see my full outfit when I post the video up on shorts, and then I'll post it on TikTok too. So I'm gonna do my Utada. And this is actually, I don't know, it feels like I'm almost kind of starting a trend or a series where my Utadas are gonna be, it's gonna be looks from things that I've designed myself because I actually designed this. So this is like I'm almost certain I got this from the thrift store, this top, this jersey, and I'm almost certain that this was a a kid's jersey. And you could tell because it's short, but it's not supposed to be short. Like it's not supposed to be cropped like this. Uh-oh. Um, oh my gosh. This is so annoying. Okay. So it flagged me on TikTok for saying that I was promoting something. These are the reasons. These are the reasons. Wow. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and reset. So I made this. Yeah, it's being real funny acting. I made this, and so I might start a series of clothes that I've made. I'm not selling this. So again, I anyway. So I made this, and so I added the sleeves onto it. This was from this jacket that I had. If I have a picture of the jacket, then I'll show y'all what it was. But I at this very moment, I don't remember if I ever took a picture or got any content wearing it before I altered it. So, this is where we at with it. But anyway, I've been really getting back into the stuff that I've made and putting looks together with them because I go through cycles, and I'm at that place right now where I really am just not impressed with the stuff that I'm seeing at the stores. And I'm somebody who absolutely loves shopping. Like I love shopping. Shopping is like real life a hobby for me, and I enjoy like being out and being in the stores. Like it's fun. Like if I ever don't want to go shopping, I must really got something to do, or I'm just, yes, hey Michael, I might have something to do, or I'm not feeling good, but other than that, I'm usually like on board to go shopping. And so, but like here lately, especially going to the mall, like the mall has just been not doing it for me. Like it has just not been doing it for me. And so this is usually like the time of year where I start thinking about ideas for stuff that I want that doesn't exist in the stores. And so I have a lot of clothes that are good for the fall because I made them. I wish that I could be spending too much money. I was telling my mom that I was like, I really want to have one of those shopping trips where it's just like the shopping montage that you see in movies where they just go on like this whole shopping spree. I was like, I want to have one of those moments. Like, when was the last time you went out to the store and it just felt like when you came home, you couldn't wait to get home and look at all the stuff that you found. Like, that's the kind of excitement that I want to be able to have. And the last time that I felt like that, I'm almost certain it was at a thrift store. It wasn't even at a mall. Like, those are the places where I feel the most excited about what I found and like what's in store, coming home and opening it and looking at what I got. Like, those are the things that that's the last time I can remember shopping and feeling like that. And so I would just really love to have a moment where it feels like, man, I got some good stuff, you know? Yeah, people sleep on the thrift store. Some people are like turned off by them, I guess, because they feel like they're it's not like you got to have some patience to shop at a thrift store, and you got to have some creativity. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, you got to be a creative person to shop at a thrift store. But when you do and you take that time to, you just find some great things. So, that's how I see it. And they have new stuff in there as well. Facts. Yeah, I tend to, it depends. Sometimes I like the newer things, but if I have something in mind that I'm looking for, then I'll probably go for the things that are more vintage. Oh, my sticky note keeps falling. Okay. Oh no, that's not even the right one. I have another one down here. Okay, y'all. I'm trying to get my bearings. It's been feeling like one of those days where like it's not, you don't feel all the way together. That's how I feel. Like, everything's not all the way together. Okay. So let's get into it's gonna have to go on my forehead eventually. Let's get into the topic for today. So I told y'all that I was gonna be talking about the creator, your brand personality. Yeah. Hold on. I'm about to reset on TikTok and then I'll come back. Give me a moment because the restriction. All right, let's see. All right. Honestly, this is one of those things where as a creator and a recovering perfectionist, this the kind of stuff that really frustrates me. And I am so proud of myself for like not letting it be the reason why I just stop, because I love for stuff to be seamless. I like for it to be polished and put together. But when everything in your life is just not cooperating, who who I'm not a Virgo. I'm a Pisces, but I don't know. It's the perfectionism is real. It is real. It bothers me. It bugs me. So, and if you can't tell by the way I have everything set up, like, I am real life. It's gotta look a certain way and sound a certain way because but yeah, so okay, so let me tell y'all what I've been doing today, and we're gonna get into the topic today, which is the creator brand archetype or brand personality. Okay. So I told y'all yesterday that I'm going to start offering a new service for people to help them to get their brand together. Okay. It's called the Brand Style Lab. And in the Brand Style Lab, we focus on refreshing, revamping your brand, finding the places where you're not attracting the people that you want to, or maybe there's some things that you want to expand into and start to do with your brand that you need some guidance or some strategy in implementing it. And I go through your brand personality. I go through your platforms. I help you decide which platforms are worth your time, content strategy, and then there can be some projects that you might want to implement that we can work through as well. I'm actually going to be helping a client create a series for her fragrances because she has a fragrance line. And so we're going to create a series for her of content so that she can use that to market her business. And so it's going to be this new creative, fun, like street interview style videos that I'm going to be helping her to implement because her business has been doing well, and she's getting a lot of like recognition for her fragrances. However, she's wanting to expand into different services associated with her fragrance line. So she's working with me to help her to get those things together. So the brand style lab, I'm launching this. This is not my first time launching them, but it's like a relaunch because I put them down for a little bit to focus on getting unshy. So there's going to be a special going on for the people who sign up for it before the end of the year. And I'm telling you this because I'm going to hold up a code that you can use to get your percentage off. Okay. So the brand style lab is originally 1500, but I have a code that I'm going to share with y'all somewhere in the middle. I'm not going to tell y'all when, but I have a code that I'm going to share in the middle that's going to take it from 1500 to 997. And that's going to be available to you up until the December, I think it's December 21st, 22nd. So if you're interested in that and you want the deal, keep your eyes open. And I might say it out loud too, but keep your eyes open and I'll hold up the code so that you can have that. Thank you, friend. You made it back over here to YouTube. Yeah, it's just better over here. It's just better over here. For a J. Thanks. Okay, so y'all ready? Are y'all ready to get into the creator archetype? All right, so I'm gonna get the cards out too. So the creator archetype the creator is the person who is driven by a relentless urge to make the imaginary tangible. That means that you might be embodying the creator archetype. And this isn't just about making things, it's about pioneering culture and redefining aesthetics. So, we're going to talk about some of your strengths as a creator. And as I talk about the creator archetype and as I talk about each archetype, I'm going to show y'all the cards that are associated with the family. Okay. But as I'm talking about it, I want you to listen out for the keywords, for the descriptions, and see if this sounds like something that you might identify with. All right. And I'm gonna let y'all know off rip. The creator is my archetype. So as you're listening, see if you can identify some of the ways that I display the creator archetype. Okay. So the strengths of the creator obviously is creativity. Okay. You always have innovative ideas. Your imagination is one of your strengths. You can vividly picture possibilities. You can see things where other people see dead ends. You have a non-linear thinking. So you don't allow yourself to just think in one way. You're always thinking about different ways that to make things work, right? Like branching out into new avenues, new territories, coming up with new twists to things. That's another sign that you are a creator. You have you're non-conformative. So everything that people tell you is the norm, everything that people tell you that you're supposed to do, that ain't you. It almost makes you itch. Like, have y'all ever heard people say like, I don't want to be put into a box, or I don't want to be put into a type, or I don't want to be stereotyped? Those are the types of things that would make the creator itch. I don't want to just conform and do whatever you tell me I'm supposed to do. And not to be rebellious, but because it doesn't feel like you. Like you're non-conformative just naturally. Yeah. Yep. And then another strength of the creator is that you have a developed aesthetic. So creators like if y'all notice, I was just telling y'all some things, some signs that show you that I'm a creator. But even just the aesthetics, the way my video looks, more so on YouTube than on TikTok, because on TikTok I'm using my phone. But the way that I have like my background, I have a particular background that I want to have, the type of camera that I'm using, the quality of my audio. I have a certain aesthetic that is important for me, not because I'm being a snob, but because this is how I express myself. Like, this is important to have. And the reason why, and I'll get into this in a little bit, but one of the big reasons why it's important for me to lean into those things as a creator is because not only is it important for me to be able to express myself this way, but it also is attractive to the people that I want to help, because my archetype is not just about me. Your archetype, your personality is not just about you. Your personality is about who you want to attract with your brand. So my aesthetic, the way that it looks, the way that it sounds, even my sense of style, all of that speaks to the creator, who is also who I'm trying to attract. All right. So, okay. So the thing about a creator that can really help you to harness your strength is embracing the unusual, the new, and the innovative. Because creators are not just artists, they're architects of imagination. I love that phrase, architects of imagination. And when you think about being an architect of imagination, that literally means that you can take what someone's thought about. You could take a vision, you could take the things that are in your mind and develop them and create them. Like, you can make them a reality. Yeah. I like that, Kuma. Imagineers. Exactly. So now, with every archetype, with every brand personality, there are strengths and there are challenges, because personality, the brand personality, is literally like having a personality. Just like being a human, you have your strengths, but you also have your challenges. So for each one, as I go throughout each day, this is going to be the same format that I follow for each of them. So the challenges of the creator is over dramatization. Okay. Life feels like a movie, and sometimes it's too intense. Like, when things happen, you might be the drama king or the drama queen. You can take the things that are going on and make them larger than they really are, and that could be a challenge for you. Um and there's something else I'm gonna share that's a challenge as well, that kind of goes hand in hand with that. But over dramatization is definitely a big one. Another challenge is depression. And this one, I'm not saying that everyone is clinically diagnosed with this, but one of the things about creators is that the way that we can get depressed is when the things that we're doing don't feel like they have meaning. Okay. So when you attempt to do something and it fails, or when you try to do something and it feels like it's not hitting right, like it's not really tapping into what you wanted to do, it's not really making the waves that you thought it should make, those can also send you into a depression. Or even when you've been doing something for a while and it doesn't feel like you're really like making headway, that can be a challenge too, which also can make us flaky, because when we're depressed and we feel like the things that we're doing don't have meaning, we don't keep doing them. We don't have the motivation to do them. Okay. Another one is the fear of mediocrity or judgment. And that can kind of, actually, I won't say that. The fear of mediocrity. So being average. And it's funny because I legit hate it. I hate being average. I hate feeling like I'm like just like everybody else, or like that my things don't stand out. So this is just me all the way. And let me know if this sounds like y'all too. Or you when you're being critiqued, it can feel like a personal failure. So you may struggle with receiving constructive criticism. You may struggle with receiving feedback, especially because when you hear it, you take it as a personal attack or a personal thing. And that can sometimes also be tied to how we see our work and what we're doing. We see it as an extension of ourselves. And so that when somebody talks about it, that makes it hurt just even more, because it's like I'm pouring my heart out and you're like stomping on it. And that's me being dramatic again. creator. But you know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Another challenge is perfectionism. See, y'all see how literally I've just been giving y'all hint after hint after hint that the creator is me and I am the creator. Okay. The we have there's nothing wrong with the pursuit of excellence and operating in excellence, but the perfectionism really is just us overthinking. So that's what's really happening. And that can be tied in some of the other ones, especially like the fear of mediocrity and being afraid of that judgment. So we can be very critical even of our own work to the point where it doesn't get put out because it's not perfect yet. And then another one, which I thought this was an interesting one, y'all. I had never really considered this before, but another challenge of the creator is angry outbursts and lack of sensitivity. Okay. And so this can be described as like an intense focus on creation that can lead to emotional spikes. And the best way that I can like illustrate what that would look like is let's say for instance, because I do this more than I like to admit, but sometimes like if I'm working on something and let's say that I have to do this project or this thing where okay, now I'm coming up with two different ones. Okay, let me go to the original one because I'm about to start confusing myself. So let's say I'm working on something and I'm like really focused on it. Okay, I'm in my zone. I'm tuned in and I'm working on it. And then all of a sudden, my son calls me because he wants to eat. Him being hungry is not the problem, but the fact that it interrupted what I was working on, it interrupted that focus will irritate me. And even though it's not necessarily me like lashing out, it's like the way that I respond to it is very irritable. And that's a form of anger. So especially when I'm really tuned in, I can lack empathy and I can not acknowledge the needs of others or the plight of others. So that's what that could look like. And then the lack of sensitivity can just be like those blind spots that you might have with what people might be dealing with or struggling with. So this one actually, friend, this is something that you helped me to figure out. I'm talking to my friend Antoinette. She helped me to she pointed this out without really knowing that she was doing it. But we were having a conversation about her having a hard time with doing talking videos. And so if y'all follow me, especially on YouTube, on TikTok, y'all know I'm always talking about use your voice, talk on video. Y'all doing these trends and don't nobody know what y'all talking about because you're not just saying stuff straight up. And I can sometimes get frustrated when I'm sharing this with people and they don't take my advice. Thank you, Anne. And they don't take my advice. And so she was talking to me about what happens when she wants to use her voice more in her content, but then she doesn't. And the way that she explained it to me, it pointed out a blind spot that I had to the challenges that people might be facing because using my voice, I haven't always felt comfortable using my voice in particular ways, and speaking up about certain things. However, when it comes down to it, I talk. You know, especially if it's like a performance based thing, like giving a speech or giving a presentation, I was always the person who spoke for the group. You know, like I was always the spokeswoman. So while I could understand it being difficult to make content talking, I didn't necessarily struggle with the idea of using my voice. I more so struggled with talking about certain things. So it was, I guess, like at this point in my life, it was harder for me to connect and relate because I've been doing it consistently for so long, which happens, like you get used to doing something, it's no longer the challenge that it was for you that it used to be. And it can be difficult to remember where people are at because of you're a little bit more distanced. So that's one of the things that is a challenge for myself, and that's a challenge for the creator personality. Okay. So what do y'all think so far? Is there anybody who thinks that they might be in the creator family? Who thinks they might be in that archetype? You think so, Michael? Yeah, I see you saying yup, yes, yep, me. So that definitely does not surprise me. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so y'all ready for the breakdown of the creator archetype? Um, and I'll show y'all these cards in a second. So at the heart of the creator archetype, there is a burning passion for self-expression. Like that's the thing that drives us, that motivates us to create, is having a need to express ourselves, like almost to the point where if we don't, it feels like it's just like bubbling up inside of us. And we have a desire to leave a legacy. Like we want what we do to stand the test of time. We wanted to make an impact. We want people to know our name. We want what we do to matter. Like that's important to the creator. You're the creators see the world not just as it is, but as it could be. And we tend to be very optimistic and almost like childlike in the way that we view the world, because we see the potential that's there, that could happen. We see what could be. And creators often find themselves in environments that echo their good taste and their distinct perspective. And one thing that I did recently that definitely illustrated this was the event that I did over the summer. It's called Socially Awkward Hour, which, as I'm saying that, I know I need to do another one. But there was this restaurant that we had it at, this restaurant in DC called Palette 22. And when I first visited the restaurant, there was like all of this artwork and like exposed brick and really like big windows with all this natural light flooding in, plants, and the restaurant felt like me. Like it felt like my personality in a building. And so having my first event at that restaurant was important because it literally was my aesthetic. And so that's how we are when we're in places. It's like the places that we're in look like us. Like we have to, and if it doesn't, then we kind of cultivate that space to look like us. So you might also be somebody who is important for you to be in beautiful spaces, and whatever beautiful looks like to you, but it's important to be in those spaces. Like you almost feel more creative, more productive, more in your element when you're in places like that. Okay. Creators are um okay, I want to make sure I didn't skip anything. Creators have this infectious energy that reads as youthfulness, which I kind of said before, like that childlike kind of mentality, but not like children. It's just like young, like it's just fresh. Even I it's funny because I I've I'm the type of person where I don't look my age, but I also don't act my age. So a lot of times people like, I know you're older, but you don't look it. So it's like I have a very confusing um combination for people. But I know I've noticed that when I'm in spaces with other people, especially people who are older than me, there's just like this youthfulness that I bring, and this energy that I bring that makes people feel like they can do what they've been thinking about, that they feel like they can do things. Like they feel more creative, they feel more energetic, they feel more optimistic. They start to explore their dreams more. Like that's the type of energy that I bring whenever I'm, whenever I'm in a room or whenever I'm in relationship with people. Um their the youthfulness comes from the optimism and our optimistic view of the world, and we thrive on transforming ideas and making them into full-blown experiences. And this pursuit of being creative makes us dynamic leaders in areas where it requires for us to be innovative and to have, some flair, some style to it. Okay. The creator's journey is not just about producing things, but it's also about the emotional highs and lows that accompany the creative process. Okay. And so let me give the disclaimer of this section of it so that you can follow me. So this is the emotional landscape of creation, of being the creator. So there are highs and lows. We tend to be described as emotional people or sensitive people because we when the highs are high, we're up here, but when the lows are low, they're low, right? Like there is not always a consistent steady flow. Unfortunately, for many of us, it's like it's a little roller coastery. So and our self-esteem and our confidence tends to be closely tied to our ability to express ourselves. So artistic expression is powerful when we are struggling with depression or self-doubt. And one thing that I did a few years ago, which I didn't even realize at the time because I didn't even know about the brand Archetype at the time. Let me take these off. That's bothering me. I didn't even know about the brand Archetype at the time. But one of the things that I did a couple years ago is this series where I got dressed through depression. I was going through a breakup, and I was going through the breakup literally as it was starting to be like fall, winter time, like literally at this time of year, I was going through a breakup. And I was just, I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. Not only was the fact that it was a breakup, that just sucks by itself. But I also was at a place where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my business. And so there was a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of self-doubt, there's a lot of criticism, and honestly I was depressed. And so I started this series called Getting Dressed Through Depression. And there was literally like the first couple of days I had just got done crying. You could see like my eyes were puffy and everything, but I was like, I got to get up, I got to put some clothes on, I got to get dressed. And throughout that series, you can see even in my face, like you could see me start to look more hopeful and look happier and just look like I was finally getting back to myself. And so my sense of style is one of those ways that I express myself. Like it's important for me to get dressed. If I go too long without putting on clothes, it actually impacts my mood. It impacts how I see myself, how I move, how I maneuver. So the self-expression piece, it doesn't necessarily have to be fashion for you, but you do have something that you do if this is your archetype where it's important for you to express yourself in this way, or maybe there's multiple ways where you got to express yourself. Okay, so this there's also with the emotional landscape, there's also intense self-criticism and the feeling that we are misunderstood or sometimes literally being misunderstood, which can lead to perceptions of us feeling like we're elite, like we think we're better than people, or even that we're just eccentric. Like I've been called eccentric, eclectic, like all the things that you can use to describe somebody. Please. No, I'll tell you when. All the different things that like it comes across as me being confident, but in reality, it's a way to protect myself from being misunderstood. So hopefully I'm describing that well. But y'all, let me know if that one in particular resonates with you, because I think even if you don't identify as the creator archetype, you can identify with being a creative person or being an artist, and having those feelings where the perception of you is that you're this person that has it all together. This person that has it all together, that isn't that doesn't have any doubt, like self-doubts or anything like that, but in reality it's just you expressing yourself but also protecting yourself. Yeah, you can relate to that. Okay. So there our sensitivity is often hidden behind a facade of assurance. But when you really get to know us, there can be a fragile self-esteem that fluctuates with our creative success. So when things are going good, like I told you, the ups and the downs, when things are going good, we think highly of ourselves. We're in good shape. Like, I got this. You ain't got to worry about me. I'm gonna be all right. And then when it's down and there's things that didn't work out, there's failures, we can take those really, really hard, and it impacts our self-esteem. So that's the emotional ups and downs that I was talking about. So before I get into the next one, I'm going to talk about harnessing the creativity and managing your expectations. Remember, I told y'all I was going to put up the code. So here is the code to get the brand style session that is originally 1500. You can get it for 997 when you use this code. If you're on YouTube, you can go to my description box. If you are on TikTok, you got to go to YouTube. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't put it nowhere on TikTok right now. You can DM me though if you want to know more about it. And then if you weren't here when I was describing it, the Brand Style Lab is like a revamp, a refresh, brand extension for existing brands. This is best for people who already have something going. You already have clients, customers. You already know what you're doing, but now you're looking to expand. You're looking to branch out into something a little different. You're looking to attract a different group of people to your business for this new service or this new product that you're offering. And you want someone to help you to develop a strategy so that you're ready for this new year coming up. So the code is brand new 25, and it'll make your brand style session 997 as opposed to 1500. This code is going to be good up until December 20 something. I don't remember the exact date. When I come on tomorrow, I'll make sure I let y'all know. But finding out your brand personality is going to be a part of that. So if you're listening and you're like, I really want to, I feel like this might be me, but I really want to know, I'll go through it with you and help you figure it out. And not only will we help you figure it out, but I'll also help you figure out how to make it practical so that you can utilize it for your brand. Okay. Okay. So let's keep on going. Harnessing inspiration and managing expectations. Okay. So creators recognize that inspiration can be both abundant, like there's times where it's like we got inspiration in the bathroom, we got inspiration when we go outside, we got inspiration when we clipping our toenails, and just like you can't escape inspiration. And then there's some days or some periods where it just feels like nothing is inspiring me. I don't feel motivated or inspired by anything right now. So, learning how to navigate these phases with patience and perseverance. And so, when you trust in the creative process, you harness the moments where it feels like you're getting so much. Like, take advantage of those. Take advantage of those. Oh my goodness. I keep getting these restrictions on TikTok. Oh, y'all, it's really bothering me. Okay. Thank you, Andrea. We're gonna keep on going. All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the love. I see you. So taking the creative process and harnessing those moments when you're getting a whole bunch of inspiration, when you got a whole bunch coming in, and then enduring those times where there's uncertainty with equal determination. Okay. So basically, what that means is Don't switch up just because you don't have that same inspiration you're used to having, or it doesn't feel like you're as inspired or motivated, because that's where the discipline kicks in. That's where your vision kicks in. That's where you remembering why you're doing what you do. That's when you start to remember the people who have told you that you've helped them, the people that are always engaging with you, the people who are hitting you up saying, "Hey, I haven't seen this happening in a while. How can I get this from you? Or how can I buy this from you?" Really leaning into the things that are letting you know that you're still moving in the right direction, even when it doesn't have that same excitement and energy attached to it. Where when we can manage that and when we can master that, that's going to make us unstoppable when it comes to growing our brands. Okay. So, really, like, accepting the inspiration and allowing the inspiration to do its work, but still work even when the inspiration isn't there. Okay. And so there's a balance between being actively creative, actively making something, and then also being reflective. So not only is it keeping that same energy when things aren't moving, or when things don't have that same energy that you're used to having, but also having like periods where you are reflective and you're taking, like, when things slow down. Like right now, this time of year is not my favorite time of year, especially when it gets cold. I don't like it. But one thing that I'm adopting this year that I feel like I haven't in the past years, 'cause I just complained about it being cold, is that I'm taking this time where things slow down, especially when we start to hit January, and allowing that to be time where I'm more reflective of the things that I've experienced, what I'm noticing, like really taking that in and just slowing down, so that when things do pick up again, I can keep that clarity, and I can keep that vision going, that insight. I can use that insight to my advantage. So that is how you continue to that's a great way to maintain your mental health. That's a great way to maintain your momentum. Even if the pace has to slow down, that doesn't mean that it stops. And that's how you can harness your imagination, your inspiration, while also maintaining the motion that you need to get your goals accomplished. So there are a few examples of the brand of the creator brand that I want to share with y'all. So before I get into the examples, y'all, I want you to know that, and I should have said this at the beginning, but it slipped my mind. You can have more than one brand personality, and you honestly should have more than one, because having more than one gives you a well-rounded perspective. It gives you a full personality, and it helps you not to come across as like flat or one-dimensional or stereotypical. So I there are things that you can identify with, but if there are some things where it feels like that's not really me, that's okay. All right. The real thing here is to find your most dominant one, which is what I really hope that you gather from the next 12 days, and then seeing which ones kind of complement it. And I'll explain what that looks like at the end of all the examples that I give. So, some examples of the creator and brands that you recognize are Adobe, Lego, Pinterest. Those are all like, and the funny thing is that all of them also emphasize being creative, which is so funny, but they are the creator archetype. Like, I think that, like, that's one of those things that kind of goes hand in hand. The creator archetype usually is a creative brand. Like, you are a creative brand in some way. It doesn't always have to be that way, but most likely that's who you are. Hey, Sabrina. Okay. And then there are some historical figures that also represent the creator archetype, like Mozart, Disney, Picasso. And one thing that I will do is I'll start to look up some more recent examples of personalities, like public figures that are the creator archetype, but I'll save that for after I go through all of the archetypes, okay? But those are some ones that most of us know, though they would identify the creator archetype as well. So the colors that represent the creator archetype are the primary colors. So red, blue, and yellow. Those are typically like a telltale sign of a creator. And the reason why is because they're bold, like those bold primary colors, whatever, even if it's not a primary color, those bold colors, like things that just kind of like evoke like not just emotion, but they evoke like creativity. And I kind of liken it to like that childlike, that youthfulness. When I think about primary colors, I think about school, like elementary school, and learning your primary colors. Like that's like the basis of things. But also another, this is just a theory, I don't know this for sure, but another theory why those are the ones that are most associated with the creator archetype is because though from the primary colors, that's where all other colors come from. So like when you think about the way that the creator archetype um takes the things, like is an architect of imagination, you can take the primary colors and create so many more colors from these primary colors. So it's like the foundation of creativity, if that makes sense. So, and that's just my theory. That's my theory. I don't know that to be true, but it sounds like it makes sense. And so if I did just figure that out, I'm really proud of myself. So, but yeah, but any bright colors. And then another thing that's important for the creator archetype is that there is a lot of use of white space. People tend to, okay, cool, thank you, Sabrina. People tend to be afraid of white space, and they feel like they have to fill it up with color or with prints or with designs. But even when you think about like an art gallery, like most art galleries, there's like a big big white wall, and then the picture is there. So like the use of white space versus the artwork is typically there when it comes to like artistic things. So when you're if you are designing your website, or you're getting your website designed, really taking advantage of the use of white space, and not feeling like you have to fill everything with color, is a good thing when it comes to representing your brand visually. Okay. And then the values of the creator. Yeah, this might not be your thing, Sabrina. You may not be the creator. On TikTok, Sabrina said that she want everything black. Yeah, no, it's the that may not this may not be yours. So the values of the creator archetype, they have a desire for control, and they have a desire for meaning. Hey, Biscuit. They have a desire for control and meaning, and not just the creation. The creation is not just the products, but like they have the desire to leave a legacy. So remember in the beginning, I was telling you that creators they need to feel like what they're doing has meaning. And if what they're doing doesn't feel like it has meaning, then they don't want to do it. And that's how people can get to that depressed state, when it doesn't feel like what you're doing matters. So those are our values. And then the when it comes to control, the reason why that's one of the values is because the our need to like express ourselves and make sense of the world is how we gain control of things, especially when you think about all the things that are outside of our control, all the things that happen in the world. And when you think about the impact that musicians have had and artists have had in movements like civil rights movements and Black Lives Matter, and all the things, all the major things where it's our attempt to try to gain a sense of control of things that we don't feel like we really have control over. The artists have contributed by using their artwork, which is their way of having some control, some sense of control in a world where they don't have that control. So yeah. So those are basically our things, like the hope that what we're doing is gonna last, and making sense of the world around us. So all right. I'm gonna get into a couple of examples. I might go through this part a little faster. But I'm glad that we're able to really talk through these archetypes because when you understand them and when you know which one you are, it really makes what you create and what you do feel much more aligned and much more effortless. So, here are a few things that you want your community to feel. So, if you are the creator archetype and you are attempting to attract creators, creative people, then you want your community to feel unique and ahead of their time. Remember, I told you like when it comes to creators, the creators are visionaries. So being able to feel like your community should feel like, oh, I'm a trendsetter. That's where the name came from. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a pioneer. I am someone who's a trailblazer. I'm doing something that people aren't doing yet. Feeling like they are ahead of their time and they're different is important for them to feel that. They need to feel free to experiment and innovate and fostering a sense of exploration, especially when people come to you and they tell you their ideas, or even if they don't come to you, like maybe you're not working with people one on one, but you find a way to give people this space where they feel it creative. They feel like they can experiment. One freebie that I'll share that ways that I've done this with my content that y'all may not have picked up on, but you're gonna know now because I'm telling you my secret. But when I'm doing like my utadas, and I ask for y'all feedback. Remember when I was doing that style challenge and I asked for your feedback, or I asked you, how should I style this? That's me giving my community the space to experiment, even though I'm the one putting on the clothes, right? Like I'm the one that's getting dressed, but I'm taking your ideas, your creativity, and I'm showing you what it looks like to act it out. Okay. So that's something that's important. So when you can figure out how to give your community the space to feel that, then you're really tapping into your people. You want your community should feel like they're full of potential and they have the ability to achieve anything that they envision, and they should be infected with enthusiasm. Like it should just like they watch you, after they talk to you, they should just feel like, dang, like what, well, you know what? Let me get up and do something. Cause I just had this conversation with Michael and now he got me over here feeling like I can do anything in the world. So let me go ahead and get up and do something. Let me record this video real fast. Let me go talk to this person real quick. Let me go outside and get unshy. Like that's what you want people to feel. Like they should be feeling like, you know what? Let me go do something. Let me go put on an outfit real quick. You know, I'm over here looking regular, but I'm gonna throw an earring on. You know, I'm gonna put on a little lipstick. That's what you want them to feel. Okay. So when you're making connections, it's important for the creator to empower your followers to make choices and be a part of the creative process. You see, doing it. Okay. Encourage them to step out of their comfort zone and perhaps trying a new craft or a new approach to their ideas. And then speak directly to individuals, making them feel uniquely seen and valued. Okay. Call people out, single them out. I called out Michael on YouTube. I don't even know if you're still here. I haven't seen you talking in chat in a while, but calling out Michael, calling out Kayla, calling out Andrea. Okay. Make people feel important, make them feel special, speak directly to them. Okay. So here are some storytelling ideas. Are y'all ready? This is the part where we're getting into the content. Not just content for social media. This is also things that you can be doing when you meet people, because your brand personality is not just a persona that you put on when you get online. Okay. Your brand personality is what you represent and exude online and offline. When people talk to you, when they're around you, when they get your products, when they get your service, when people talk about you to other people, this is what you should be exuding. Okay. So your these are ideas, these are stories that you can tell, whether this is on the internet or whether this is in regular conversation, whether you get a speaking engagement, wherever you need to tell your story. These are the kind of stories that you want to lean into. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share three of them. If you want the other three, because there's six, if you want the other three, you check out the blog post, okay? So that I don't take up too much time. But I'm gonna share a couple of them with you, and then the rest of them they're on my blog. The blog you can read for free. There's no cost associated with it, but you can see some other ideas as well. So share one storytelling idea is when you went the unexpected route and it worked out. Another one is embracing symbolism, illusions, or references. So, like speaking to the soul of the creative, like that creative soul. I'm trying to think of a way to express that because I feel like that might be a little vague, but like really not just telling stuff directly, but if you could use like metaphors and imagery and make connections and associations with things that you've experienced in your life and use that to tell a story. So hopefully that makes more sense. So that's another thing that you can lean into. And then you can also talk about you can share the process. So DIY, which is why another reason why I think that people like watching my tutorials and they like watching me get dressed, not just because that's something that people like to watch in general, but I think that that speaks to that's the kind of content that I do well with, one of the forms of content, because it's in line with my brand personality. So DIYs or showing the results of your clients. So past clients, current clients, sharing their stories. Those are all really good storytelling ideas that the creator should lean into. Okay. Some of the phrases and words that you want to use. So this is again what you should be speaking, what you should be writing. These are good things to start to include in your vocabulary. Out of the box, create the life of your dreams, power of imagination, show your hidden talents, maker, doer, beauty, art, vision, imagination. All of those words and phrases speak to the creator and the creative soul that you want to attract. Okay. And then something that's important that the creator archetype should really lean into and make a priority as soon as possible is finding the balance of structure and peace in your artwork. Because what can tend to happen is that we take everything that we do creatively and we turn it into a way to monetize, and we need to be able to have space where we can just create. Like that's important for us to have. Not only is it important for us to have space where we can just create, where it's not connected to money, but we also need to have the space where uh our our creation process is not chaotic. So having that structure, having something that anchors your creativity allows you to be more creative. So, and I can go into that more one day. I wish I had more time, but I'm trying to be good with my time today. So, unfortunately, I can't go into that one too much, but just remember having that structure. Oh, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tag Kayla. Kayla, I'm going to tag your video because you talked about this. Structure, I forgot the formula, but you said structure plus something equals creativity. If you can type it so I can say it right. But either way, I'm a tag creator, um, and I'll put it in the description box on YouTube, and that will break down that thought process a little bit better. Structure plus accountability equals creativity. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. That we need that. And that will bring us peace. And then remember to build a supportive team. Okay, building a team is going to be so important. It is important for creators, so that build a team that understands your vision and they allow you the space to innovate and to truly create. So what this means, like in simple terms, is that you want to cultivate a team. You want to cultivate a group, yeah, a team that allows you to be the best at what you do. So there are things as a creator that you are a genius at. Like there, the way that your brain works, the way that you do it is so unique and it's so you that you have to have the space to do that well. You don't do a great job at everything. And so that's where other people come in. They can pick up those roles so that you can focus on and shine in the area where you are best. Okay. So that's something that is important for the creator to have, where we don't excel and we don't do well when everything falls on us. It's going to always lead to less than stellar work. It's going to lead to even in some instances, mediocre work, which then doesn't help us because now we start getting to that place where we feel like our work has no meaning and we're not proud of it and it doesn't feel like our best. So you see how all of that kind of starts putting you in this cycle. So that's important to have. So if you are the creator, if you identify as the creator archetype, that is something that should be at the foremost of your mind as you are growing your brand. Is you being a solopreneur, it ain't gonna work, fam. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I ain't even never said it that bluntly before, but it's not gonna work. You need to have people who can help you cultivate the vision. So remember, I told y'all I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna here's the thing. So I'm saying I don't know to Andrea because she asks, is that me? So y'all, I can pick up on people's brand personalities for the most part. But the way that I help people to discover their brand personality is by playing the brand personality game. That's not the like official name of it, but that's what I call it because that's how I utilize the cards that help you figure them out. So each brand personality has these different cards. And so the creator is the one that I just broke down for y'all. But remember earlier I told you that they're a family. So even if you might be the creator, like that might be your fundamental archetype, but you may not be the creator exactly. You might be a visionary or entrepreneur or the artist or the storyteller. And so if you end up falling in one of those categories as opposed to the creator, then this might not be your most dominant archetype. You may just identify with certain parts of it. Okay. So I'm going to break down briefly what each one is. But if you want to see the more details about them, I have like a small paragraph written for each of these. But if you really want to know what your brand personality is, you're gonna you're gonna have to connect with me. There's a quiz that you can take that I can share with y'all. I'll share it. I might have to share it in Telegram, but I might share it in the comments too. But the only thing about that quiz, it's a great quiz, but the only thing about that quiz is that it only covers the fundamental ones. So the 12, it doesn't cover all the cousins in them that's in the family. So again, the best way to figure out exactly what your brand archetype is to work with me or work with another brand strategist that goes over the brand archetypes, but this is not something that all of them do or even talk about. So this is my plug. All right, so if you need that brand style lab, we're going to go through this and you'll know exactly which one you are and you'll know which ones you need to be leaning into in each way. Okay, I can give you even more detail about what that will look like. But one day, maybe on the last day, I'll show y'all all of mine and then how I utilize each of them. Maybe that'll be my way of giving an example. So, all of the people that are in the creator family, the visionary, Okay. The visionary is perceptive. Their strengths are perception, enlightened vision, ability to offer insight for the greater good. And some of their challenges is temptation to trade or sell one's gift for gain or profit, or to shift vision to please or control. So, a little manipulation that can be a challenge. But the visionary is a brilliant strategist, and they can um imagine possibilities that reach beyond the scope of any one individual life to benefit all of society. So the visionary is a part of the creator family, but you might identify more specifically with the visionary. Okay. Another part of the family is the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur, their strengths are confidence, to be led by a vision. One of their challenges is having an addiction to adrenaline. And even when you think about entrepreneurs, like even if it's not your brand personality, but when you think about entrepreneurs, we can definitely be driven by the adrenaline and the rush of working and doing and being busy and doing this and doing that. So that one makes a lot of sense. But the entrepreneur dreams up ideas and commits to turn them into reality. They're known as an idea generator, and they're typically achievement oriented. Okay. So that's the entrepreneur. The next one up is the artist. Okay. The artist's strengths are expression, creativity, focus, and inspiration. The artist has the capacity to make the ordinary into the extraordinary, and they're characterized by boundless curiosity, playfulness, deep emotion, and access to a rich source of inspiration. Some of their challenges can be a tendency to take on too many projects or challenges. Another one that's good to mention is having a fear of failure and prone to fall into the cliches of being a starving artist or a mad genius. Okay. So that's the artist. And then the last one in the creator family is the storyteller. Okay. So the storyteller strengths is charisma, dramatic expression, keen insight. Their challenges can be a temptation to exaggerate, lie, or provide misinformation, or to lure in the weak for gain or profit. So, the storyteller connects people to the shared human experience with stories. Uh, I'm still having problems with TikTok, y'all. Excuse me. It's trying to like get me to verify, but then it's not letting me verify. Okay. The storyteller connects people to the shared human experience with stories that can unleash powerful emotions, build credibility, and allow for difficult topics to be explored. All right, y'all. If you're over on TikTok and it's freezing for you, come on over to YouTube because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to. This is starting to frustrate me. Starting to frustrate me because it's not, the thing is not popping up. So let me know if y'all can still, yeah. Yeah, just head on over, y'all. Head on over. It's not gonna be able to work. If you see, if you go to my bio and then click on YouTube channel, then you can see me over there. Okay. I'm about to click this off so that I don't have to keep going through this. So I love y'all though. I love y'all. Come on over to YouTube. Okay. Yeah, nah, TikTok has been playing in my face. Playing in my face. Okay. So those are the parts of the creator family. I'm gonna go through them one more time. The visionary, the entrepreneur, the artist, and the storyteller. Okay. So those are their cards. And they are all a part of the fundamental archetype, the creator archetype. So between those, you may be the creator, but you may also be one of the ones that are in the family. And if you don't identify as one of the ones, if you don't identify with the creator fully, but you do identify with one of the other archetypes in the family, then that could mean that it's not your dominant archetype, but that's okay because there are 11 others that may be more in alignment with who you are, and it can still paint a very beautiful, complex image of your brand personality. So tomorrow I'm going to cover the explorer archetype, and we'll see who feels like they fit more into that category. Okay. Well, what did y'all think? Hey Kayla, what did y'all think about the creator archetype? How many people feel like they are the creator, or they are somewhere in the creator family? One thing that I'll say about the archetypes is that, um even if you don't, oh, I lost that train of thought. Oh, no, I lost the train of thought. Sorry, y'all. If it come back, it come back. Let me put this up. So this is the code, brand new 25. You use this code and it's going to take your brand style lab session from 1500 to 997. In your brand style lab session, it is a 4-hour long session with a 30-minute call for you to figure out your brand personality. We're going to play the game. That's going to be a whole separate thing. And then for 4 hours, we're going to strategize. We're going to go through your brand. We're going to find the holes, the gaps, things that might not be aligned anymore. And then we're going to talk about how you want to expand your brand, how you want to rebrand or refresh so that your goals for 2025 feel more attainable, they feel more strategic. We go through your content, and I'll tell you the platforms that I would recommend you focus on, because every platform is not useful for every goal. So we can talk about which platforms will help you the best, what strategy to use in terms of posting, what type of content to create for it. And then, from there, if you decide that you want to continue working with me, then we can take on some bigger projects that you might have that you need help strategizing on and executing. So all of that stuff I will help you with inside the brand style lab. The deal for it to be 997 is going up until December 20th. One of those 20s. I don't remember what date I chose. I think it's like the 21st, the 22nd. And that price will be available. That's the price that it will be at until 2025, and then it will be increasing. So if you know that you want to revamp, you want to refresh, you want to expand, and you want to do that for 2025, make sure you get on my calendar before the end of the year. Okay. And that's that. So tomorrow is going to be the Explorer. Uh, and I'm excited to see what y'all think about that. One thing that I will say, since we're at the end of this now, one thing that I will say is that I'm doing this live now, but eventually I would love to be able to do these videos and make them maybe like 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long, because I think I can go through them quicker. But one thing about me is that I enjoy being thorough and giving as much context behind things as possible. So I don't know. I can't guarantee that they'll be 8 to 10 minutes long. They may need to be longer. Because even if you don't book with me, if you don't work with me, you can still get a lot of useful information out of it. And if you can identify your brand personality just from listening to me, then you can take this information and you can make it relevant to what you do. Okay. So that's my goal. Whether you have it to work with me or whether you feel like I'm a good fit or not, you can still get a lot from these. So I don't even know. We'll see. It won't be anytime soon though. You're just gonna have to watch the whole video and listen to them. But this is what I got for y'all today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I am tagging the link to book your session, your brand style lab session. I'm also linking the blog post that breaks down everything that I just talked about on the creator, so you can see it written out, so that you can get like an overview of everything that I discussed. So you can see if you match that brand personality. And then I'll be doing that for each brand personality moving forward. So each one that I do, there's also a blog post associated with it. So if you want to skip ahead and read ahead, you can do that too. But come on back and listen so I can add some more context and color to it. Okay. All right, y'all. So have a happy election day. I tried to do this before, the big reveal. I know that today is one of those days for folks. So I hope that you are protecting your mental health. You're doing whatever you need to do to make it through this day. We have made it through this election season. We did it, Joe. The irony in that is not lost on me, but we did it, y'all. We made it. And tomorrow we will not have to worry about these ads on YouTube for those of us that have not got premium yet. But I love y'all. I have gone over, so I'm gonna get off. I'll talk to y'all in the next video.